Hello and welcome to this video on benefits of living near a volcano. The first benefit relates to fertile soils and farming, and your example for this is Mount Etna in Sicily. Basically, the volcanic ash and lava that erupts from the volcano settles on the surrounding slopes, and over time, due to weathering, this material breaks down and it releases the nutrients and minerals into the soil, so that the soil becomes really fertile and it's good for crop growing. The second benefit of living near a volcano is the potential for tourism. For example, the pictures here are of Iceland. With volcanoes, you get volcanic features such as geysers and hot water springs. So on the left-hand side, we have a geyser. In Iceland, it's called the Great Geyser, and there's a whole field of them, and it really does pull in tourists. And as a result, people want a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, have some food. So you've got a visitor centre that's set up to sell souvenirs. You've also got the Blue Lagoon, which is a hot spring, and the water gets pumped down into the ground and then comes back up, and it is actually the leftovers from a water industry, but it's got these minerals in it. So people started just kind of on their own bathing in this area of water. And over time it became such an attraction that it's really developed. So now there's a whole kind of changing room there. You can have spa days. And again, there's restaurants on site. There's a hotel. So volcanoes really do give this kind of tourism industry, which then obviously brings in money for people that are working there in the industry that develop. The third reason for living near a volcano is the potential for geothermal energy. So geothermal means rock energy. So it's heat energy that comes from the ground due to the presence of the molten magma that's going to heat up the surrounding rocks. So here in Iceland we have got a geothermal power plant, and 87% of the homes are heated by geothermal power in Iceland. So it's a nice renewable source of energy, and it's used to provide electricity and also for central heating. The fourth reason for living near a volcano is mining for minerals. So volcanoes provide a good range of minerals such as gold, diamonds and sulfur. And here you can see people are mining for sulfur in Indonesia. And then having mined these materials, they're able to sell them and get money for them. So that brings in money for the economy and for the local people and get some jobs. So the information on the previous couple of slides give you a general overview of the main reasons why people live near volcanoes. In the exam, you may be asked about this knowledge in these 4 different types of questions. The first one, state 2 reasons why people live near volcanoes. So it's 2 marks, you give 2 ideas, so 2 sentences. Question number 2, describe why people live near to volcanoes. You can see it's a 4-mark question, so you need to develop your point. So 2 ideas, such as mining, how does that give them a benefit, give an example, and then you can put tourism, what kind of tourist feature could you visit, give it an example, what's the benefit of it. That will get you your 4 marks. Number 3, describe the positive and negative effects of volcanic activity. So here it's bringing in the negative aspects. So you've got 6 marks, so you want to balance it half and half. So 3 marks on positive, 3 marks on negative. So your positive will include your mining, your tourism, your geothermal energy and your fertile soils, and then your negatives, which we'll look at in lesson as well, okay, is your pyroclastic flow, your lava bombs, your lahars. Okay, so you need a balance between the 2 of them, but again it's 6 marks, so it needs to be developed linked points with some kind of structure. And the 4th question, describe and explain why people live near volcanoes, for 8 marks. So this is talking about those categories of benefits, so the geothermal energy, the mining, the tourism and the fertile soils. It's linking to the place examples, and it's actually saying why they live there, so the explain part. So you say what the benefits are, and I say why they're benefits. So just taking the 6-mark extended question, describe the positive and negative impacts of volcanic activity. And I mentioned previously that you should structure this into 2 sections, positive impacts and negative impacts. So positive, you've got geothermal energy, tourism, fertile soil and mining. And then you'd give a brief sentence about those, and then you give an example, and you outline why is it a positive impact. And then the negatives would be your second section, And you can see from the diagram down here, which you should be familiar with from your lessons, that you've got a diagram representing the different hazards of a volcanic eruption. So we've got the initial ash that comes out at the top of the volcano. We've got the lava flow that's going to run down the sides of the volcano. The mud might mix with, the ash might mix with water in the rivers or from a rainstorm, and that makes these rivers of mud flow called lahars. The gases that are released could suffocate people, but also it could then combine with the water to make acid rain, and the whole kind of movement of material down the slopes with the ash is called pyroclastic flow. So the lava flows can destroy buildings, the ash can choke people and cover buildings into collapse, and then on transport the lava can cut across roads and ash can ground aircraft. So those are the kind of things that you're trying to say in this answer. It's a 6 marker, so you want to have a balance between positive and negative. And it's all about volcanoes, not about general tectonics, so must focus on volcanoes. On the page in front of you, you have an answer for the question, describe and explain why people live near to volcanoes. What I'd like you to do is to stop the video and read through this answer at your own pace, and then once you have read it, press play again to listen to me go through why it makes a good answer. Pause the video now and read. Okay, so you've read through the answer, and what we're going to do is break down why this is a level 3 answer. It's not 8 out of 8, and I'm going to explain why, but it has got 7 out of 8, so it's got into level 3, which is what we're ultimately aiming for you to be achieving. So we have 4 clear paragraphs. So we've got some structure. You can see that we've got a good use of capital letters and full stops, and place names have got capital letters. So our spelling, punctuation and grammar is accurate. We have also got integrated into the answer place examples, such as Mount Etna in Sicily, Iceland and the Blue Lagoon, the Llano Choco gold mine in Peru. So we've got example places to refer to, again, which is what we need in a level 3 answer. With the 4 paragraphs come 4 different ideas, so the answer has got a range of ideas, so we're given a good breadth to the question. The exam question itself has 2 command words, describe and explain. So describe, you're saying what the reason is. So people live near to volcanoes due for farming, that's a description. Okay. When you go on to say how this helps people, this is your explanation. So this breaks down, makes a fertile soil, which is good for crop growing. That is starting to be your explanation. So 25% of the population live on the slopes of a volcano and grow citrus fruits due to the fertile soils. So due to is the explanation part. In the 3rd paragraph, where it talks about living near to volcanoes for minerals, we can see that in the 2nd paragraph you start to go into the explanation. So mining industries have been set up in these areas and this provides jobs for people and brings in money for the local economy. That's all explanation. So this answer got level 3, 7 out of 8, because the explanation part could have been developed further on our tourism section. So we talk about tourism is there, and people visit to see the volcanoes and features such as geysers and hot springs, but we don't say how that is good for the people and why they choose to live there. So we need to develop that to say that people can set up hotels, restaurants, spa packages, so that they can tap into the tourists and get money for the economy, provide the local people with jobs. So that's what's needed just to push this answer to the top of level 3 and get 8 out of 8. That completes this presentation on why do people live near to volcanoes. I hope you found this useful. Remember, you can replay this clip as many times as you like and go through the information. It's a really good revision tool to look at this and use it to prepare for any forthcoming assessments you have. Okay, thank you very much.